Right lads, I'm not going to lie to you. This lockdown is getting to me. I am so tired. I've been getting up at ridiculous times, and I woke up early to record this. So you better appreciate me. Dare I say that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of the coolest crossovers ever? I mean, we have all these characters and all these franchises, and sometimes you just have to step back and look at how big it is. Jesus Christ, it's huge. Someone's going to edit that, aren't they? So someone's going to put, like, me looking here and then just a wang. So why don't we, I don't mean we, I mean me, take a look at all the franchises that are in Smash and put them in a tier list and rank them from worst to best. Now I know people are going to get annoyed about this because this involves a little thing I like to call an opinion, and some people can't take an opinion. If I don't like a franchise that you like, that's perfectly fine. Don't have a go at me, just comment down below what franchise is your favourite so we can have a discussion about it. You're going to see my favourites, I want to hear yours in the comments, so if you want to leave your ranking in the comments, be sure to do that and I'll reply to you. And don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, because this is something new. I'm making a tier list again, but this one, there was no planning before this. I'm going to make this up as I go, and this may get a little bombastic, so I hope you enjoy. Well, I guess let's get a big one out the way first. Right, hold your pitchforks. Pitchforks, hold. Hold, pitchforks. Pitchforks. I am so mixed on the Zelda series. The games are either a hit or just a miss. They're just on the floor. For example, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are two of my favourite games of all time. I absolutely love them, but the Zelda series, in my opinion, can get away with anything. Seriously, why do people love Breath of the Wild so much? It's not that good. No, I don't hate the game, I just shit on it a lot, because in my opinion it is probably the most overrated game ever. And I know you're gonna hate me for that, but I just don't think there's much to do in the world. They've got this big open world, and there's nothing to do in it except a couple trees. You know what? I've already annoyed everyone. I might as well say something to make it worse. There's more to do in a singular game of Fortnite than there is in Breath of the Wild. But to be honest, if it weren't for Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Link's Awakening, I wouldn't be putting this in B tier, but I'm just going to put it in the middle because it's so hit and miss for me. Anyway, now we've got that out of the way, let's move on to something a bit less divisive. Donkey Kong's pretty good, isn't it? If anyone were to ask me what's your favourite franchise in Smash, or talk about some of the franchises in Smash, Donkey Kong would never come to mind as one of my favourites, but when we look at it, the games are good. Play this. I could not recommend Tropical Freeze enough as one of the best platformers on the Switch, but unfortunately for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, it's still £60. It's a Wii U game that's like £15 on the Wii U, but the Switch version is £60. Now I know it's got the new Funky mode, and Funky Kong is definitely worth more than £60 alone, but I'm sure Nintendo can survive as a company while selling Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for a fair price. So if it ever gets a price drop, pick it up. If you ever see it on sale or in a second-hand shop for like less than 30 quid, pick up Tropical Freeze, because it's an amazing game. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never played Fatal Fury, so I'm just gonna drop it in C, because it looks pretty cool. For some reason, Mega Man has always been a series I just can't get behind. I own the Mega Man Legacy Collection on my PS4, but I just can't bring myself to play them. I've played a couple of them and enjoy them, and I also own Mega Man 11 and I've played it, but there's just something about it I don't like. Like, I play it and I'm like, this is sick, I'm kicking ass. But every time I die, I know you're supposed to die and it's supposed to be hard, but every time I die, I just feel like, I want to stop. Which is completely different from other difficult games like, and I hate to compare it, Dark Souls, where I die and I'm like, I'm gonna try again. Mega Man just doesn't do that for me, so I'm gonna have to put it in the C tier as well. To be honest, the only reason it isn't in D is what am I fighting for? While we're here, I'm gonna make an A+ tier because I feel like we need one. Because A+ would be for those series that weren't as perfect as the S tier series, but they're good in their own right. They either have some misses or just don't have a lot of content. So that's why I'm gonna put Kid Icarus in A+. The reason for this is there's only one game in this series. Yes, I know there's NES games, but they're different. They're just generic platformers of that era, you know? But Kid Icarus Uprising has amazing gameplay and amazing characters, but it's all ruined by that control scheme. Holding the DS like this to play Kid Icarus Uprising has given people so much hand cramp, okay? It just doesn't belong on this platform, and the way you control it is stupid. They could have just let us move around with the D-pad, use the buttons, and shoot with the triggers, just like any other shooter. But for some reason, it just had to be weird. Give it a couple years, everyone who's played Kid Icarus Uprising will have arthritis. If we get another game in this series on the Switch,
which I hope we do,
this one may just move up to the S tier because its writing and its characters are brilliant. If you haven't played Kid Icarus Uprising yet, go ahead and do it. Just watch out for your hands. What the hell is Ice Climber? But speaking of the classics, I'm going to put Game & Watch in C, and I know that contradicts what I just said, but there's something charming about Game & Watch. There's numerous of these little mini-games, they've been referenced numerous times in other things, and they're just iconic. They're so charming, and for that charm alone, I'm going to put them in the C tier. Punch-Out is such a weird one. The NES game? Pretty good. If I'm honest, it's one of my favourite NES games, but it wouldn't be enough to get it in the high tiers until we talk about Punch-Out for the Wii. I know this game gets praised a lot, but I'm still gonna say it. It's one of the best Wii games. And that boss fight where Donkey Kong just comes in out of nowhere and you box him, that was sick. So Punch-Out is going in the B tier above the Zelda series. I've just realised you guys who watch the channel regularly are going to think this is weird. I don't have my headphones on. I'll put them on for you now. Is that better? I said earlier I've never played Fatal Fury, and that's true, obviously. But talking about 2D fighters, Street Fighter is where there's a change. Not only has it got amazing crisp gameplay and iconic characters which are honestly make it the best 2D fighting game, I'm going to put Street Fighter at the top of B tier. Which is weird because I just praised it so heavily and then only put it in B tier, and that's purely because I've never played it a lot, you know? Like, I haven't played enough Street Fighter and gotten good at it to consider it one of my favourite games. It's just something I can appreciate from a distance. Like and subscribe. Persona! What the fuck? Can you guess what my favourite game of all time is? Can you guess what my favourite game of all time is? Can you guess what my favourite game of all time is? Okay. I think it's safe to assume you know what my favourite game of all time is. I love not only this game, but this series so much, and I don't think it's any surprise to anyone that has followed the channel that Persona is in the S tier. If you haven't played Persona 5, go out and buy Persona 5 Royal and play it right now. Stop watching this video! Don't watch my channel. Go and play Persona 5. Don't watch any YouTube, okay? Just play through the entire game, because it is the greatest game ever made. And I know everyone will be like, oh, you have a bias to Persona 5, but even the other games, I'm currently playing through Persona 3, and it is awesome. Its style is so good, not as good as Persona 5, obviously that style is amazing, but the characters in every game are just really good and have some great stories about, like, very dark subjects, but also very uplifting, and it's just amazing and such a good almost life simulator and RPG. Persona 3, 4 and 5 are all 10 out of 10s, and I've heard Persona 2 is pretty good as well. I'll get down to playing it one day, but I could go on about this series for hours and it would probably get its own video one day. But for now, it's going in the S tier. I'm going to take this off because it's really hot in here. I'm counting the Mii's here as like the Wii series. We're talking Wii Sports. We're talking Wii Sports Resort. We're talking Wii Chess. This series of games was fire, and you can't convince me otherwise. Maybe not Wii Chess. And fuck Wii Music. Let's get rid of that one. But these games were sick. So before anyone questioned me putting Wii Sports above Legend of Zelda, they're amazing. Go back and play them. Go get 3 friends, if you have them, and play all the minigames in Wii Sports Resort against each other. It is some of the most fun you could have.